Hello. All right, I'm just gonna get all my stuff. As always, I'm a muse mama, and there's always a whole bunch of stuff going on, and we're late because baby was napping, and then now she woke up as opposed to she's supposed to be napping right now. So yes, which is kind of perfect because if you were here to watch the previous one about making art, making money, and I talked about creating the habit of just making the art and weaving it with your life, this is kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm making not just the art, but also the art that talks about the art, right? These live stream series is the art about talking about my first 5 course, at the same time sharing art with you. And today we're going to be talking about how you are building more than just a biz. You're building a brand and the marketing kind of side of things when you are starting to find your first 5 dream customers, clients, collectors online for your creative work, and you're just dipping your toes in and for whatever your creative work is. So as always with these videos, if you're watching with me live, make sure you come and comment below #YayLive, and if you're watching a replay, love you, thank you for being here and taking that time. #YayReplay, it really helps boost my videos, it really helps support me, and it helps you connect deeper into this video because you're like actually proactively interacting with it, or just love heart showers. I always love them too. Let me share this as always so that I can boost all these videos and more people can see them. This was the day of the series that I was like super excited about. This is the marketing stuff. This is the how do I show up online, and this is the how do I find those clients, and how do I get them to know me, and how do I get them to buy my stuff, and to get your first 5. I talk about having the first 5 because the first 2 or 3 when you start offering your creativity, especially online, it might be a friend or your mum or your friend of a friend, but once you hit that number 4 and number 5, that's when you start like getting your groove on. You're finding a little bit of a system, you're kind of finding a better idea of what it is and how it is that you're sharing your creative work with the world. And it's also that's when it starts being a stranger or someone who isn't just doing it out of friendship and just to support you, although all my clients, all my collectors, all my dream customers, they are supporting me, but there is a actual kind of exchange. And that's why I feel like first 5, and also because it was a catchy name, which I like, and that in itself is another art, and that's what we're talking about today. Even though I talked about it yesterday about making art, making money. If you haven't seen that in day 3, check it out, about not just the making of the work. So before we got all scrambled, if we haven't met, I'm Brenda Mangalore. I am an artist, a painter, an abstract painter. This is one of the paintings. I'm in my bedroom right now. This is where the great light is, and also where I can kind of hide from my girls. While I quickly do this, they're hopefully playing, but probably not. Probably gonna come screaming because someone hit something and stole something. Anyway, and as I was talking about yesterday, you have to create that habit of not only creating the work that you want to do and that you're offering for the world, you also have to create the habit and the boundary around creating the art that talks about the art. So I'm talking about the marketing side of things, the communicating side of things, the sharing and explaining and the documenting of the process and your heart and the why and the story behind it and the whole making and process. Did I say process already? All that stuff. That is art in itself. And at the same time, I always talk about both because I know at the very beginning of when I went down this journey, I made the mistake. I'm going to keep talking, but also I'm looking down. I would love for you to comment below what your creative work is. If you have seen the previous video, I would love for you to do #following along. And if you haven't, you're just watching for the first time, hi, and you just go drop your comment below and just give me your favorite heart emoji so that I know you're here. Anyway, so I know when I was first starting, I'm going to see if I can multitask. Probably not. It's not recommended, but at the same time, I need to get this done. When I was first starting, I started to get more obsessed with learning all the things and learning the hard way. Like how do I do it? How do I talk about it? And online from 5 years ago to now, we didn't have the technology and the software that we have available to us so easily as well, and so affordable at the same time, or like free. Facebook was, still around, but like not to the extent that it's being used today, like the way I'm showing up for you now. And so I was just like looking at like, how do I get my website, and teaching myself code, and looking at, you know, sales funnels and marketing campaigns, and then got more and more distracted with all this fancy stuff, which is an art in itself. This whole talking about it, showing it to the world, explaining it to the world, you know, having that communication, whether it's through visuals and videos or photos or with words. And I'm not a writer, I'm a painter. And so that, getting distracted with that, and then losing my habit of actually creating the art that my soul work was to share that work with the world. And obviously your soul work can evolve and change, but right now at the very beginning, don't get distracted by all the fancy stuff. And which is why I'm creating, and I'm doing these first steps, a free live stream series, so I could share with you just like the little basic things that you just need to have in place and to keep in mind, so you don't get distracted by the fancy stuff. And the first 5 courses is where I dive deeper into it, and also you get a chance, because we have a space and time before Christmas, because everything else is winding down and you're finding more space, and also because it's getting to that end of the year and you're really reflecting back on what you've done and what you said you were going to do and you haven't done. And so don't end the year still talking about it, actually done something about it. And that is the first 5 course, where we can lay the foundations for you to start offering your creative work to the world, to find your first 5 clients, customers, collectors. So whether or not it's you've had a transformational experience, life change, and during that time you have learned that lessons and hardened, you know, wisdom and skills and that experience, and you want to share that and hold space for other people, and you've been doing it maybe with some friends and with people, and you kind of said, and you look at yourself now from like 2 years ago or 5 years ago, and you're like, that was a whole different person. And what would I have needed then? I would have needed someone to help me to showcase that it's possible, and that this is what you need. And this is kind of like what I'm doing right now, right? I'm creating this first 5 course, and because I remember and I know now the advice that I would give to a friend, or if you came to me and said, oh, you know, I have this thing and I want to bring it online, I want to share it, I want to make money from it, how do I start? Because there's all these options. And so that's what all of this is for. And today is the sharing, it's the second part of the art. There's your art, it's your creative work. So you've had a transformational life experience, you've packed up your whole family, you're now nomadic and you just travel and live on the road. And what is that like? What are the skill sets you need? What are the tips and the hacks and the resources? Maybe you want to offer it into a book. Maybe you want to offer it into a course like what I'm doing. Or maybe you just want to like start a blog and be able to monetize that. That is its own creative work. That's your creative work. Maybe you're a jeweler or a traditional creative like me, and you have paintings and you've been giving it away to friends or family, and now you're like, okay, I think I want to start selling it and have some money because I want to buy more material so I could keep making the art. Or maybe you are starting a new creative project, a new creative passion, and come join in, sorry, while I do this. And you started this new creative passion and you're really into it, and it's your creative outlet, and you've been doing it for a while, so you're learning amazing, fascinating things, obviously to you because you're passionate about it, and there's something contagious about that passion and that fascination, because it's actually quite fascinating for other people, especially people who haven't dared to step forward to try that new thing that you're doing. Maybe you're baking, like my friend with like baking and learning and trying out recipes but making it her own, you know. And so she's starting on that journey, sharing that creative work, and I'm like, yes, you share the behind the scenes and you share the other stuff, and that itself is not just her recipe making and all that kind of stuff. She's not even quite sure what she's going to use to offer yet. And this is where, if you haven't seen day 2, definitely watch that. The questions to ask about to find some clarity about the direction you want to go, but at the same time you're not going to find that clarity if you just sit there and think about it. No amount of sitting and thinking is going to help you find that clarity until you take a few steps forward in a direction that you roughly already know. Does that make sense? And so, but today I'm talking about the other art. There's your own creative work, whether it's a booklet, whether it is a course, mentoring, circle, whether it is an actual painting or artwork, whether it is, did I say booklets already? Recipe books, whatever that creative work is that you want to offer and find your first 5 clients, customers or collectors. Today we're talking about the other side of that art, when you're expanding into just not just creating the artwork, you also want to offer it to the world. There's another kind of form of art. This is where the business kind of thing, and I hesitate to say business because when you're first starting, it can be easy to get distracted by the business needs of things. And you've got to remember, you are building more than just a business. You're a creative, you're an artist, you have art to bring to the world. It's not like a thing. It's not a thing that you get somebody else to like make and then they ship it to somebody else and then they just ship it to the customer. That is like a widget machine thing. You are offering more than that. This is why I talked about making sure you, in day 2, answer those questions and you really dig deep and find out what is it that you're offering. It isn't just the painting or the jewelry or the book. You're offering some kind of emotion or connection and some kind of transformation. And in order to be able to communicate that communication is an art form in itself. And this is why I talked about in day 3 to create the habit and the boundary and a skill and to keep in mind and be mindful of working on that art as well. Let me share it in a couple more places. So for now, can you comment below first what's your art, and then and hashtag the other art. Comment that below so that we remember this is what we're talking about today. I'm like feeling the urge to like rant it all out because I'm gonna have less time because I gotta feed the little one because she's gonna have a late lunch. She's gonna get hungry soon and then she just goes berserk. Hangry. Show that. Okay. Alrighty, there's that one, and one more. If you commented below your creative work that you want to share, where are you watching this from? What are you doing right now besides watching this video? And thank you for being here. And the comment the word hashtag the other art because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Come join us. All right, got my laptop here so I can write notes if we need to and do the homework and pin it, which you can only do when you post it live. Did you know that? I will talk more about Facebook and Instagram tips and things, although all this tech stuff you could totally Google and find yourself. I will be talking more and deeper in the course, obviously, because we have more time together and we can dive deeper, and obviously you can then, that's also where you can ask questions about your particular thing, and I will add it to the comments below as well. Actually, why don't I do that now before I forget so that it is in there. Super early bird. Super early bird is open for registration if you already know you want to dive deeper and get into it, and pre-work will start next week, so you can start like a whole week before everything else and really prep yourself and really be able to jumpstart and do all the things. So because then we can cover more. I'm going to be sharing 3 things about Facebook itself, but we'll be talking about Facebook and Instagram inside the course and emails as well, and all the tech stuff that you could totally Google, but like focusing on the ones that you need as you're starting to communicate and share your story and to find your first clients and customers. Excuse me, I just like swallowed, inhaled really lunch quickly so that I could do this because I came home really late. So talking about 4 things really, and I try to make it really super simple because I was like in a mood today, right? This is what you're building. You're building more than just a business. You're building a brand. Like I said before, you're an artist, you're a creative. More than anything, you're not just selling the thing, you're going to have to sell you, or the heart and the art and the artistry and the creativity of you. So that's your energy, that's your thing. Even if you're making similar things that other people are making, like there are heaps of painters out there, but yet my unique selling point, the USP that, you know, Business Talk talks about, is mine is a particular style of painting and it's a particular emotion, and mine serves as a mirror to reflect back to my dream collectors their creativity, their inspiration, their heart. And they're the kind of people who love color and they love statement pieces and they love their homes filled with that, and they want reminders of that. So I sell more than just paint on canvas. I sell that kind of transformation, those daily reminders, inspiration. And so because you're that, I am also the brand, because I'm the artist. My heart, my hands are behind that artwork. And this is why my calling is now more than just a painting. It's evolved to being someone who inspires ambitious, spiritual, creative women to live a life of joyful purpose, because it is, and that's what the paintings serve as well, right? They serve as actual physical, tangible things that you can see that is about you, reflecting back to you how you want to live a life of joyful purpose, because they're joyful, they bring joy and light and beauty into your life. And the collectors, my dream collectors, love that, and they want that life of joyful purpose. And for that what that looks like is beauty and inspiration and creativity surrounding themselves both on the outside and on the inside. And so the inside part I do with my Muse Mamas in the village and the membership. So for those ambitious, spiritual, creative women who want to be surrounded and connected to a village of amazing women who do more than just daydream. They actually want to connect to their creativity as part of their life, and they want to bring that next chapter out, bring it to life. They want to birth that. They know that where they're currently at, maybe the season they're at, you know, they've kids, their kids don't need them as much anymore, whether they're just going to school or they've left home, or, you know, they're not that needy, clingy time. They're screaming. I don't know if that's happy screaming or I think that's happy, playful screaming. All right, before I get too carried away. So you are your own brand. If you can get that, and I will be talking a lot deeper about this. I keep saying this because I keep getting more and more ideas, and I'm worried now that the 4 weeks is not going to be enough. But we're talking about just beginning. We're trying to find your first 5. We're not trying to build up a fancy empire, although these foundations, if you can build them, and part of that foundation isn't just the systems and the tech stuff, because that changes, that evolves, that you get new stuff all the time. But the foundations of habits and actions and the mindset changes that you're going to need to take as you step forward to start offering your creativity to the world in exchange for, you know, money, right? And for me, it's not just about the money. Money is an exchange of value. It's about inviting people and offering people, your dream customers, your dream clients, dream collectors, to connect deeper with you, to really step forward in a way to really come closer to you and the creative work that you're offering, whether it is a book or a recipe or music or jewelry or a course or a mentoring kind of package where you're holding space for them. You're inviting them to connect with you deeper, and that exchange for us right now in this world that we live in is money. And so that is what you're doing, but you're rising and bringing your creativity up a different level, right? Now, there's no right or wrong. You could totally just do art for your own hobby and for your own sake as a creative outlet, and that is its own thing. And for some of you, maybe this first 5 course is perfect because you're like, oh, I would like to explore it, but you're not sure that you want to make it like your thing. You're not going to quit your job suddenly and just smash everything that you know right now down and suddenly just become a full-time artist. You know, this is your step in. You're going to try it because you want to try it, and it's an experiment. And then trust me, even if you did totally burn everything down, you still have to try, and you still got to explore and experiment and find out how that works and who your dream customers are, and build each piece by piece, whatever that empire is that you have as a vision, one by one. And that clarity I talked about earlier, you can only find that by digging deeper, by taking action forward one by one. So you're building more than just a business, you're building a brand. But when you're first starting, that sounds huge, right? Like for me, brand just feels like nothing. But you're building more than just a business. So what does that mean? Let me just make sure. Sorry about that. There's 4 things I want you to keep in mind that you're building a brand. And what you're that for me, we're talking about today is the showing up online, because we're talking about online here. You're just offering stuff online. Maybe you have been selling your paintings or whatever offline, and you know, face to face, and now you want to bring it online. What does that mean? How do you dip your toes in? So keep that in mind. Everything applies the same way. You're building more than just a business. You're a brand. You're a creative. So that's why when I talked about creating the art as well as the other art, talking about your art, communicating and sharing the story and the heart and the process and the making and the story behind it and why, and you, is because you're a brand, and a brand has all of that. Just like a person has multiple dimensions, you are more than just mum. You are more than just wife or whatever your job is. You have all these different facets, and that's what makes you complex and beautiful and amazing. And it's this woven, rich tapestry of experience and personality and past and vision and values and your heart and your soul calling, all of that. And so that's what your brand is. And you might not, that's why if you feel like, I don't know, well, because you've just started, you're just taking little steps, and you're not going to know until you take those little steps and you start building little pieces and you start seeing the bigger picture, and that picture gets bigger and bigger. And as you evolve and change, you get more confident, you see different pieces and you add more, and you add more threads into it, and then you weave an even more complex masterpiece, right? And that's your life's work. Okay, we're getting like deep now. First, okay, you need to, more than anything, we're talking about Facebook or Instagram or emails, because those are the specifics we'll be talking about in the course. But however you show up in your platform of choice, I'm assuming Facebook, which is what we'll be talking about today, because I can't cover all of them right now because I've got babies to get back to, is that, and I'm choosing Facebook because right now you're on here watching this, or if you're watching this somewhere else, wherever that is, YouTube maybe, you need to show up. That's the first thing. That's the first show. There's going to be 4 shows. Show up. So can you hashtag below, comment, show up, and then that way we can keep our notes. Show up. And that means showing up consistently. So you got to show up and talk about your art. You got to share the work. You got to share the thinking behind it. You got to, even if you haven't quite started yet and you're just on your personal profile, you got to start talking about how you're thinking about starting something. You're gonna like put it out there, or show a picture of it, or show a little video of it if you prefer video, or a little bit of writing, or a photo of you writing in your journal about all these ideas that you're getting from Brenda in her live stream series. But the idea is you're showing up and creating first that habit. We talked a lot about habits before, as well as just being consistent and making that less uncomfortable, because I totally get it. At the very beginning it was just like, why do I have to keep talking about it? Why can't I just sit at home and paint my paintings? But now I love it. This other side is just as creative and just as challenging and just as fun and amazing and connective to my creativity as the actual painting work itself. And so show up, first one, make sure you show up. You're going to show up consistently, and you're going to show value, showing up, right? There's a value in showing up consistently, because that's a habit, but also because that's what all these social media platforms require in order to keep you front of mind. And you think about the things that you buy and the people and the brands that you follow and connected with. It's because, let me just make sure no one's doing anything dangerous. It's because you connect with them, you see them, you just like see an ad, or you see something else that they're doing, because they're showing up. They send you emails, they send you posts, that you see them on, whatever it is, you're just seeing them all the time. And that's part of the brand building. Even when you're starting, you can start in small ways, and you just start sharing it, even if it's just practice for yourself. Because I always say, you need to, just with any of your original work, if you think about when you first started, the first few works, like my first few paintings, were not that great, right? You have to get the crap out before you can find the gold. And so that's the same with showing up and talking about your art, as well as offering it for sale. So show up. The second one is to show you. And that means your true heart. It has to be true. You're showing your vulnerability, you're showing your heart, you're showing your story, you're showing you, and ideally your face. And there's gonna be a bonus, which I just thought of yesterday, a bonus inside the first 5 where I'm gonna talk about showing your light live on these Facebooks, like how I had to like slowly learn my way, and little tactics, little tips, and also just like building that confidence to just like show up live, because there's no editing, there's no like special lights. I'm literally sitting on my bed in my bedroom in front of a window, and like my hair is probably not the best right now, but showing up live, showing me. I'm showing you me, which is best with video, because I like doing it and it's just a lot easier. I just don't have time to sit there to write, because in this season of my life with little kids, but I'm also showing up. I'm trying to be consistent with these live stream series and showing up, even though I've got little kids who woke up and the nap time isn't right, but I'm gonna have to squeeze it in because that's just what it is. It's imperfect, but that's just the way it is. And you got to show you. I'm showing you me and talking the way I would talk normally, although right now I think I can hear myself talking a bit faster than even more than usual because I'm trying to like squeeze all this in and because I'm just feeling really excited about sharing all this stuff with you. So show up, show you. Can you hashtag below as well, show you. And then the third one, hashtag below, show value. We talk about this, right? All of this is valuable, but value, this is where you do teaching stuff. You know, that new passion thing that you're just learning and you're just going on this journey of, and you just learned something amazing that you didn't know before. Share that. So I bet you there'll be somebody else who didn't know about that before. Maybe you've already gone through it and you've learned this stuff and you've forgotten what you've learned. And somebody asks you and you go, think to yourself, you know, I'll be giving prompts inside the first 5 course so that you can think of these topics and help answer them, and then that gives you ideas for what you could write or share or talk about as part of your marketing. Think about communicating, right? There's the creating of the work and then there's the communicating the work. So today we're talking about the communicating of your art. And so showing value, it means like teaching stuff, educating people, or maybe even just entertaining them with whatever fun things. You know, if you humor and being funny and just like naturally think about when you're hanging out with your friends who love you and care and you know, doesn't judge you and stuff, like you're all funny, isn't it? And so if you can show up in that way with that kind of connection and trust that energy, and I hope you can feel it as you're watching this, right? That energy attracts, this is how you attract your dream customers and clients, who then when you do meet them, whether online or just like interacting by email because we're all online, or like in person, like it feels natural because they already get you. They already get your little funny quirks and your things that you feel like, oh, isn't professional enough. That's the stuff that's going to make you amazing and feel like a friend. And in the end, people buy from friends, right? Like even if you don't feel like you're friends with whatever your favorite brand is, but I bet you there's a sense of feeling like you're connected, or there's something about them that you want and you feel that you want a bit of that, like you would want to hang out with them. Does that make sense? And so you want to be that because you're starting small and that's what is your offering. And I find that's the easiest, and especially online nowadays, that is the way to do it. And the hard part is the showing up consistently. When I say consistently, try and get it to daily. Do that like once a day, just like sharing a bit of your art. You can go back to sharing your memes and your weird gifts or whatever, but if you can every day talk a little bit about your art, or talk about your process, or think about how you're showing you, and think about how you can share some value. Hashtag show value, number 3. And number four is to show how you can connect deeper. And remember how I said, so I guess hashtag show connection. Is that a good hashtag? Yeah, show connection. Show the connection of deeper. When I say deeper, I mean show how they can, if you've already set it up in the course. Obviously we're going to go in stages and you have set it up, and it could be quite easy. We could do it in just a week depending on how you go, because I get self-paced. That's why it's all self-paced. This is why online is amazing. It means if you're suddenly busy because something else happened, because you're like me and kids and life comes up, you can always come back to it. You're not going to miss a class. It's all there available for you. It's lifetime access, so that means you can access it in a lifetime, and then any new updates I put in it, you will have access for that for free. So, but then that means, but you know, for all my, okay, for example, for all my, I'm talking louder and louder because can you hear them? Like they're just like decided to come up and talk. And anyway, I am showing you consistently. I'm just showing up. Even today, right now, I'm like under the time crunch right now, but I'm showing up. I am showing up daily as much as I can, even though most of the time I have 2-3 hours max to do all my work before I can go back to mama duties, right? And then I'm also showing me. I'm showing me, or show you, right? Anyway, because I'm showing up on video and I'm sharing me and I'm being vulnerable and I'm talking to you like I would a friend. My dream customers and my dream clients and my dream collectors, I feel like we could be friends. We could hang out and we would have fun, and it wouldn't be awkward, and they wouldn't look at me like, why aren't you professional? Why aren't you dressed nice? And why is your hair like not, you know, prim and proper, and your face all made up properly? And why do you swear so much? You know, like, I want my dream customers and clients, they just like get me and that's it. And that's why I show up like this. And I'm also sharing value. I'm teaching you stuff and I'm trying to be entertaining in my own way. And I am sharing what I can and the value of that with you. But at the same time, this is more than just my creative work. I want to offer it and find clients. I got to invite you to connect deeper with me. So number 4 is to be able to show you how you can connect deeper with me. And that is why this is the time I will add that comment in and pin it of how you can get to the super early bird registration, which is open, and save $125. Oh, wait. I'm going to edit that. And because I am showing you how you can connect deeper with me in exchange for money. All right, here we go. There we go, I'll pin that. It's in the comments below. There's the link for the super early bird registration, because I am showing you how to connect deeper with me. So you don't have to do all 4 like what I'm doing right now in this video. You could just do it over 4 days. And the idea, the reason and the strategy for this is, as you would know, and this is what I believe in, is to give as much value as possible. So value, not just the teaching stuff that I talked about in number 3 about showing value, but the value of just like sharing you and your heart and your reason behind it, because that is actually inspirational. That's actually connection. That's also another kind of connection. And then the showing up consistently means you're showing not just yourself and your work, but also to your dream customers and clients that you're getting serious about this. You are offering it, going to be offering it for sale. And if you do end up wanting to build this into a business and into part of your life, that is a great habit that you need to have. You might as well start that now as you're dipping your toes in. And when you don't have much to lose and you're not like dependent on that income or whatever it is, or more than anything, that's like with anything, regardless of how different social media platforms or online platforms change and morph over time, this principle about showing up consistently, daily ideally, is how you build that connection with your dream customers and clients. They know that you're not just like a blip in the pan, is that the word, flash in the pan, and then you're just going to disappear. You means you're showing up consistently and you're going to be there and you're going to keep making, and then they can keep connecting with you in that way. Oh, Inigo, you can let them in. Open the door, because I think you're hurting there. We've worked out how to open the door. Well, Mummy's almost done, okay?
Okay. I want you to know. Hello.
I'm going to come on the bed, okay?
Okay.
Just be careful. I think Inigo wants to come. We got my guest teachers for today. But we're almost done. And so I want to give you...
Hello.
for Facebook, okay? Say hi.
Hello.
Alright, let me finish and then we'll get almost done, okay? Where's my name? Okay.
Under the bed, okay?
Alright, let's talk about Facebook because that's what we're on. We'll be talking about more than Facebook and diving deeper. Obviously in the First 5 course, the link is below. So let's talk, when you first start, like if you're starting like scratch. Excuse me, from me. Oh, okay. Okay. Can you make sure at the comments below is where you go, hi Indigo. She would totally love that. Thank you. And so if you're just starting and you're on Facebook, because obviously you're on here, you can still start now showing up, showing you, showing value. And maybe you haven't quite got to the how you can connect deeper. And we will talk about different tactics and strategies that you can use to start building your community, because that's really what we're doing here. And we will be talking about building a community tomorrow. I haven't thought of a title for it yet. But basically building a community, and more than just community, which is your audience and your customers, but also a community for you, because you're going to need that. Oh, put it down, please. Okay, can you close the door, Bob? Can you close the door? Thank you. Here's Mama at work here. All right. So if you're starting out from scratch with nothing, you can still do those three things, right? The showing up consistently, the showing you, and the showing some sort of value. And value, I mean things that people are gonna find inspiring or educational or entertaining or all three in some way. And it doesn't have to be long videos like this. It could just be little short things. You think about little clips and stuff, little time lapses, or just photos of behind the scenes of how you're making the work, or how you did do the work, or before you went through that transformation, all that kind of stuff. And so for Facebook, right, here's one thing that you need to be able to do. You can start with your own personal profile, and that's where you can show you. This is where you can share your heart, your story behind it, your why. You can start sharing the transformation that you're offering or your thinkings behind it. All of that stuff is about showing you and showing some sort of value as well. And you can do all of that in your personal profile and start building it up that way and start sharing consistently and building that habit. And obviously there's going to be a lot of mindset shifts that you're going to need to take about what happens if my mom sees, or what happens when that girl from that place, from that time, and she's going to think this. And we will talk a lot more about what other people think and whether or not you choose to allow that to be more important than this creative work that is calling for you to bring to life. Okay? Why don't you write that question down? Which is more important for you? Which one do you choose to follow? And also you can show your art. So if it's your traditional art, if it's your art, like your paintings or your writing, all that kind of stuff, this is when you can show behind the scenes, in progress shots, all that kind of stuff. But how about Facebook page? Yeah? Your Facebook page, yes, you do need to set one up. I can show you in for the first 5 courses how to do that. I can't do that today because you can see why. Set it up. I think it's great to set it up. I know you can definitely build an audience up on your personal profile page, but because of the rules of Facebook and it's a little hazy and you never know when that's going to happen, is that you can't really talk about the selling parts of number 4, about showing how to connect deeper and the actual selling and talking about that kind of stuff. You can do that to your heart's content on your page, and there's different ways of making sure. And also on the page, that's when you can start doing Facebook ads, but that's not something you're going to think about at all when you're first starting. But I like, personally, to start with a page if you're feeling uncomfortable with your profile and start posting on there and start building it up. But in order to build up your followers and the people who follow your page, you're going to start sharing it with your friends, because that's how you start. That's why I talk about the first 5 clients and customers and collectors. It's because your first 2 or 3 is going to be your friend or a friend of a friend or a family member or a family friend, all that kind of stuff. And you're going to be okay with that, because these are the people who love you and care about you, and they are just proud of you regardless, even if your art's still in that dodgy at the beginner stage. But if you can feel comfortable about offering your art in that way, in that more expanded, stretching your comfort zone level to them, and you can practice talking about your art, talking about how it's for sale, all that kind of stuff with them, you start doing that on your personal profile. And we'll talk more about tactics and things and how to put links and how, like, I'm putting the links. See how I put the links only on live but in the comments and that kind of stuff. These are little tips and tricks that we've learned and that you can learn over time, and you can definitely find out from Google or whatever, doing research. But it's the principle behind it, which is why I talk about the 4 things, and I want it to be simple, about showing up consistently, about showing you and your heart and your story, and showing value and knowing that your heart and your story is just as valuable and just as entertaining and just as inspiring as the actual art itself. And the making and the behind the scenes, the other art communicating about the actual art, is as much an art in itself. I know there's a lot of the word art here, but that is and what that means is that it has to be a habit, and it's a skill that you can build up. And so showing value in that way, and then showing how you can connect deeper, because that's the other point. There's a difference between just a hobby and you're just doing it for your creative outlet and then you're just sharing that, versus, are we okay?
She's playing with her ear.
That's okay. And we're almost done. And because that's my cue. But it's more than just your creative outlet. You're actually offering, you're trying to find your first 5 clients and customers and collectors, and they can't find you, and you're not going to connect with them. They're not going to be able to connect with you. They're not going to know that if you don't show that how they can pay you, how they can contact you in order to pay you, to get that art, to get that work, to get that thing that you want to offer to the world, and make that a habit to do and to talk about and to share. So yes, that was as much as I can go. I need to go for these girls before they drive each other crazy. Let me know which of the 4 shows that you are feeling first you're already doing, or you could find easy to do and that you can do today. If you can do it today, that'd be great, because Muse Mamas, we are more than just daydreamers, we are also doers. And which one you're finding like, oh, that's too hard, I don't think I can do. What are your questions about it? Drop them below. I would love to know, and I can come back and answer them, or message my page. I should put that in there actually. I'll put that in here. You can message me, or the word first 5 to
I
my
have some Vicks.
Thank you. Put that away, please. And then that will hook you up to get all the videos and stuff, and I can send you links as well.
Vicks.
Okay. The link is there in the pinned comments. Alright. Okay, that is all for today. I hope that was... Can you wait until I'm done, please? I hope that was valuable. Sorry for the interruptions, but this is the imperfection and showing up anyway, and I hope that it gives you permission to show up imperfectly as well. And come back tomorrow where we talk about community, because it's going to build on today's work. And if you haven't already, check out the rest of the series, and definitely drop your questions, message me. The link is there for super early bird, less than half price right now. First rounds are always going to be amazing value, although the full price is a lot less than I wanted it to be, but that's what the art wanted to be, so that's just the way it is. And so I will see you tomorrow. Hope you have the best day ever. Say bye. 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 Can you say Raven? Oh, she's 5. Raven, you want to say bye? Bye. Bye. Oh, now she doesn't. Bye. Did you say bye?
And Raven is 1.
Okay. Yeah, she's 1. All right. Bye.